Hello everybody, it's Ocelot, and welcome to the final part of our Gargoyles TWINBLADE New Game Plus full build guide. In this part, you're going to become Elden Lord, and we're going to finish off 14 out of 15 remembrances. The only remembrance spots we didn't go after was Rykard. Just a quick recap, we ended up part 1 killing off Morgott. We leveled up, ran through Stormveil Castle. Now we're ready to fight Godrick. With Godrick, there's not really much to say. A few jump attacks will send him to phase 2. During the transition, it may be possible that you can finish him off. I wasn't able to, he still had a sliver of life left. Down goes Godrick. We're going to level up, and I just want to remind everybody that I'm going to level cap this character at RL 150. So right now, when we level up, we're going to put 1 point into Vigor, and we're basically going to get up to 50 Vigor and 2 more points in Mind. Next, let's go after Rennala. Go ahead and warp to the South Raya Lucaria gate. Head west. We'll be going after the Academy key. Now fighting this drag is optional. However, as you'll see, there's not much to it. We'll go ahead and take down the dragon, grab the Academy key, and warp back to the Academy and head in all the way to the Red Wolf of Radagon. Again, this is going to be another easy battle. Just watch for his projectiles if he does them, and watch for the jump attack. That's going to be your chance to strike. Next, we'll have Rennala. Don't put on your buffs when you walk in. Kill off 2 of the Sweetings, so there's only 1 left. Then, go ahead and drink your flask, Golden Vow, Howl Shabriri. Buff your weapons, and then send it. And Rennala goes down easily. Let's go ahead and put 1 point into Vigor. Next, we're going to be heading underground. So, go to the Ancestral Woods site of Grace. So first, we're going after the Regal Ancestor Spirit. So go ahead and light up all the braziers. Once you have all the fires lit, go ahead and head towards the Hollowhorn grounds, and we're going to fight the Regal Ancestor Spirit. You're going to see this is going to be a relatively easy fight. Just watch for his area of effect attacks, and watch for his jump attacks, his charge attacks, and if you're behind him, his back leg attacks. So let's put the underground on hold and head out to Leyndell. We're going after the Draconic tree Sentinel. We're going into the capital so we can get our last piece of equipment, the Omen Smirk mask. First, let's go ahead and spend our runes. We're going to put 1 point into mind. So for the Draconic tree Sentinel, I'll put on all the buffs, jump on Torrent, and do a jump attack. Now I meant to do an L1 attack, however it ended up working out. I'm going to spend the last point I'm going to use and put it in mind. We're now at level 150. I'm going to show you our stats again. 50 vigor, 16 mind, 30 endurance, 49 strength, 15 dexterity, 5 more with Millicent's prosthesis, 52 faith, 2 added by the current helmet we're wearing. If you want to continue leveling up, I suggest leveling up strength, faith, vigor, and mind. So once you defeat the avatar, continue on down the stairs. I'm going to put a mark on the map around where the enemy is that's holding the Omen Smirk mask. I'll show you the route how to get there, and I'll show you the enemy we have to fight. Go ahead and pick up the drop from the enemy, and now our build is fully complete. Swap out the Haligtree Night Helm for the Omen Smirk mask. Swap out your gauntlets for Lionel's gauntlets. We'll take a look at the equipment again. We have the Omen Smirk mask, Raptor's black feathers, Lionel's gauntlets, and greaves. Let's put Leyndell on hold for a minute. We're going to head to Caria Manor. So go ahead and warp to the main Caria Manor gate site of Grace. Go all the way through, and we're going to take down Loretta. Again, not much to say. A few jump attacks, and she'll easily go down. Let's head to Ranni's Rise, start Ranni's quest. After talking to Ranni, you want to talk to Celavis and Iji.
I see. Yes, I am. I don't know what it is, but...
Oh, so you've defeated a grand again?
When you're done talking, warp to the Ancestral Wood site of Grace. I'm going to put a mark on the Night's Sacred Ground. That's about where we're going to be picking up the Fingerslayer Blade. So go ahead and head in, all the way down and through. Pick up the Fingerslayer Blade, and we're going to take it back to Ranni. So after giving her the Fingerslayer Blade, she's going to give us the inverted statue.
My thanks. A strange gift, but I am certain I must thank You may leave. It was but brief.
We're going to take this statue to the Carrion Study Hall. We're going to use a shortcut inside of the academy. There's a teleporter. If you go out of Rennala's room and down the lift, the teleporter will take you to the Church of Vows. From there, you can ride Torrent to the Carrion Study Hall. Put the inverted statue on the pedestal. Go through the inverted tower. You're going to go all the way up to the next tower and pick up the Curse Mark of Death. Next, we're going into Deeproot Depths. If you have the grace that popped up after you defeated the gargoyles, you can take that. There's a coffin near where my mark is. You're going to take that coffin, which will teleport you to Deeproot Depths. Now for Fia's champs, this is completely optional, but I went ahead and put the Fire Giant seal in my offhand. I had to change my gauntlets to the malformed dragon gauntlets. You don't have to do this. You can fight them with just the dual twin blades. But I just wanted to change it up for this fight. So the first two champs should be no problem at all. After you defeat the second champ, I recommend putting on another buff. You can put on Haligtree. For this trio of champs, I definitely recommend watching out for Leyndell. Thea will appear once her champs go down. You're going to want to talk to her, exhaust her dialogue, give her the curse mark of death. You're going to have to hug her a few times to get this done. Before we fight Fortissax, make sure to use Baldachin's Blessing as it gives you a debuff. It lowers your overall HP.
How did you...
Before you head in to fight Fortissax, I suggest drinking the Physic, so that's one less buff you have to put on in the boss arena. So Fortissax, you want to watch out for his area of effect lightning attacks. You also want to watch out for the death lightning, as that can cause buildup of death blight, which would be instant death if the meter fills up. Also, he does bites, slams, whips his tail around if you're behind him, flies up into the sky and slams down. There's a lot of area of effect attacks, so watch out for those. And finally, Fortissax goes down. Next, we're going to Ainsel River Main. Right around this mark, there's going to be a coffin. Go ahead and rest in it. That will take you down to Ainsel River Main. I don't go up to the Moonlight Altar, but if you do, you want to pick up the miniature Ronnie and talk to it at any site of grace after you pick it up. Let's switch our equipment back to our main loadout. We're going to unequip the giant seal, and we're going to put back on Lionel's gauntlets. Go all the way through the Lake of Rot, and we're going to be fighting Astel next. So for Astel, I only put on the Physic and Golden Bow before I walked into the boss fog. After his first laser and then the tail swipe, I move in a little bit, put on Haligtree, buff up the weapons with Flaming Strike if it's safe. Other than that, watch out for his area of effect attacks, his swipes, Nebula, after he does swipes, when he gets to a certain amount of health, he may do a grab. That's around 25% of his health depleted, I believe. He'll also do Meteorite of Astel when he is at about half HP or lower. Took a lot of work, but we finally took Astel down. Let's warp back to the capital. We're going to be going after Shade Godfrey. So just watch out for his area of effect attacks. Sometimes he'll do a jump attack as well. And watch for his quick jabs he does with his axe as well. So next, we're going to be going after Morgott. Since we have it, let's go ahead and equip Morgott's Shackle. The Shackle trivializes this fight, so there's not much to say. Just use the Shackle, and if you don't take him down when he's shackled up, just wait for him to do his area of effect attack, and wait for an opening. Go ahead and talk to Malenia. She's going to give you the rolled medallion.
Hello again.
Before we continue on though, we're going to activate Morgott's Great Rune. We're going to show you a couple of marks on the map. This is where the site of grace is in the Forbidden Lands. Here is where we're going to activate Morgott's Great Rune. Warp to the Avenue Balcony site of grace. Head through into the Forbidden Lands. Pick up that side of grace. Go back up the lift. Go towards the Divine Tower. Put your buffs on, because you're going to fight the Fell Twins. Once the twins are taken care of, continue to head up the Divine Tower. Touching the rune will just restore it. Now go to the site of grace. You're going to need to equip it. Once you have it equipped, go to your inventory and use a rune arc. This will last until you unequip the Great Rune or until death. Now we're ready to continue on to the fire giant. So go ahead and warp to the Forbidden Lands. Before we get to the fire giant though, there is one grace that we do want to pick up. The Freezing Lake site of grace. This is so we can go after Commander Niall later on. Now, even though the fire giant is 50% resist to fire, you're going to see this is not going to be a difficult battle. If you followed my Eleanor's Poleblade guide, you should have pest threads, and if you'd rather be safe and use pest threads, go ahead. But I went ahead and fought him with Flaming Strike with the Flame Art Affinity. Another option that you have is to change the affinity to heavy. This will give you all physical damage unless you buff your weapons with Flaming Strike. Now, if possible, put on Haligtree and or Golden Vow before you send the fire giant to phase 2. I didn't do so, but at the very beginning of phase 2, I put on Haligtree and go after his hand. With the fire giant down, go ahead and rest at the Forge of the Giant's site of grace. Talk to Malenia and let her know that you're ready for her to make the sacrifice.
Very well.
This is going to take us to Crumbling Farum Azula. Run all the way through to the Godskin Duo fight. Before you walk in, make sure to craft sleep pots. Make sure to equip them. If you need the help, I'm going to show you a summon sign for Bernal. Once you're ready, make sure your sleep pots are equipped. Try to put them both to sleep as fast as possible. You can get one down first, that's fine. Taking care of the second one shouldn't be a problem. After they fall asleep, go ahead and put on your buffs, your flask, Golden Bow, Haligtree, Flaming Strike on your left armament, Flaming Strike on your right armament. Down goes the duo. I'll go ahead and continue to run through Crumbling. At the site of grace before the lightning dragon, you can equip Lightning Spear if you have it to take care of the birds. If you don't have it, you can just run all the way through to the next site of grace. Now this is completely optional, but I almost always take care of this dragon, mainly because it starts off with very low health. I believe it has half or less. So at the upcoming Site of Grace, I'm going to re-equip all of my Giant's incantations. We're going to be going after Placidusax. If you'd like, you can equip Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. I did that on base new game with this character. So I'm just going to attack him with the Twin Blades. It's up to you though. If you want to use the incantations, go for it. You have a fully upgraded Clawmark seal. When you're ready, head down to Placidusax and get ready to fight him. So with Placidusax, before he aggroes, I drink the Physic, put on Golden Vow. I don't put on Haligtree until after his first round of Red Lightning. After each round of Red Lightning, I'll buff one of the Twin Blades. So Haligtree, move forward, left Twin Blade, move forward, right Twin Blade, and start attacking Placidusax. So when Placidusax starts to teleport away, run to the nearest wall, look up in the sky towards the middle of the arena, and look for him to come down. You want to dive at the last instant, and then he's going to be doing teleporting attacks. So here he goes teleporting again. Continue to make yourself towards the wall. Look up in the sky. This is going to be so you're in perfect position once he starts doing the laser beams. When the Dragon Lord comes down, he's going to start doing the laser beams. So go ahead and attack him. Make sure you're not in front of him. And finish him off. With the Dragon Lord down, let's go to beside the Great Bridge Site of Grace. I'm going to continue on through Crumbling. Now fighting Draconic Tree Sentinel is optional. You can just run past him and then quit out and reload. But I went ahead and took care of him. Next up, we have Maliketh. Watch for his jabs and side-to-side swipes. Just continue to dive to his sides. You want to get in your attacks when he does the slow right to left swipe, such as there. And also when he does the slow overhead attack after doing a few jabs. So phase 2 is coming up. Phase 2, you want to take a few steps back, go in after the swipe, and get as many jump attacks as you can on him. He's going to jump on the pillar, then jump towards you. You want to dive twice. You want to wait a split second for your second dive so you don't get hit by the area of effect like I did. Next up, we have Gideon. You want to put on your flask, golden bow, Hal Shabriri. Then I only buff the left armament because I'll buff the right armament as I attack Gideon. Again, with Gideon, you want to attack him after he says the word Lord.
To stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, I know in my bones a tarnished.
Next up, we have Godfrey. For phase 1, phase 2, you want to watch out for his area effect stomp. When he reaches phase 2 on each of his phases, he does a full arena area of attack, and you want to watch out for that one. For the Horah Loux phase of the fight, you want to step back from him. He's going to try to grab you. After he goes for the grab, that's going to be your moment to attack.
Tarnished. Thy strength befits a crown.
Next up, we have Radagon and Elden Beast. For the Radagon phase, you can get 2 jump attacks. This should send him to jump in the air, which you'll be able to get a 3rd jump attack and hopefully take him out with that. For Elden Beast, just get as many jump attacks in as you can. He's going to open up the fight with this fire. Just don't stand in front of him. Stand to the side or to the rear and get as many attacks in as you can. When he goes up into the sky, just turn directly around. He's going to be doing a single ring of light first. Just jump over it, and he should spawn right in front of you. And down goes Elden Beast. You did it. You beat the game. However, there is still a couple more remembrance bosses we're going to be going after. So go to the Freezing Lake site of Grace. We'll be going to Castle Sol after Commander Niall. Commander Niall will spawn in 2 Spectral Banished Knights. I usually like to go for the one on the right, the dual-wielding greatsword. Take that one down, then take down the one with the shield. Then you can go after Commander Niall. Commander Niall has some attacks that have an area effect that cause frostbite buildup, so be careful with those. He does a jump attack that he comes down with a slam down lightning. He slams his foot down and does lightning area of effect. He also does a charge attack that causes frostbite buildup. So just watch out for those attacks, wait for your openings, and go after him. After you take down Commander Niall, go up the lift, pick up the Haligtree secret medallion. Next, we're going to take a trip to Liurnia, to the village of the Albinarics. So go to the Lascar ruins site of Grace and head west. Talk to Old Albus, and he'll give you the other half to the secret Haligtree medallion. With both pieces, we're ready to go to the consecrated snowfield. So go to the Grand Lift of Rold. When you stand on the platform, make sure to choose right or left on your D-pad. Hoist secret medallion. Go into the consecrated snowfields. You're going to head all the way to Ordina Liturgical Town. There's going to be an Everjail you need to enter. There are 4 candles you need to light. Go ahead and light the 4 candles. When you're done lighting these 4 candles, you'll be transported back to Ordina. And on the north side, there's going to be stairs. Go up the stairs, into the teleporter, and into the Haligtree. So run through the Haligtree, and you're going to go all the way to Loretta. She is going to be the next boss we're going to be fighting. So put on all your buffs, do Flaming Strike last. When she spawns in, you should be able to get a few jump attacks off in the beginning. Just watch out for her projectiles, and watch her for her face change. The path is now open to fight Malenia. Before we go in, let's make sure we have everything prepared. We have all of the Giant's incantations equipped. If you're going to use the incantations, I recommend you offhand the Giant Seal. This is going to put us in heavy load, so swap out Lionel's gauntlets for the malformed dragon gauntlets. If you don't have those, you can use Gideon's gauntlets. I opted to go for the Fire Scorpion charm instead of the Ritual Sword. The reason I did this is because I know that I have trouble staying at full health against Malenia. Depending on your skill level, if you feel confident, the Ritual Sword will give you more damage. But I chose for the safer route and went for the Fire Scorpion charm. In the Physic, I have the Flame Shroud and Crack tier and the Thorny Crack tier. So for Malenia, since you do have access to the incantations, I highly recommend you use Burno Flame and Giant's Flame Take B. I'm mostly stuck with jump attacks and Flame of the Fell God. However, I recommend you use your full arsenal against her. It took me about 3 or 4 tries to beat her, using just jump attacks and Flame of the Fell God. If you get low on health and need to heal, try to create distance before you heal up. Now, if you get a chance before you send her to phase 2, try to put on your as many buffs as possible. So in phase 2, I disengage the lock-on, run right underneath her, then to the right. She should land far away. You can put on buffs, buff up your weapons, using incantations. Do as much damage as you can while she's vulnerable. Down goes Malenia, and that just leaves us with Mohg. So we're going to be going to the Mohg Dynasty Mausoleum. Through the consecrated snowfields on the west end, around this mark right here, there's going to be a teleporter. So go to the inner consecrated snowfield site of grace, head west. There's going to be an invader that you need to take care of. Once you've taken care of the invader, continue to head west. Go through the teleporter. Go through Mohg Palace and all the way to the Dynasty Mausoleum. And let's make sure we have our equipment correct. So let's unequip the Giant Seal. Put back on Lionel's Gauntlet. We're going to put on the Ritual Sword Talisman. We will be changing our physic. But first, let's equip Mohg Shackle. Also, craft as many freeze pots as possible and equip those. Mohg has high resistance to fire, so we're going to change the affinity on our Gargoyles Twin Blades. We're going to keep the Ash of War, but the affinity will be heavy. This is going to get rid of the split damage, and we'll be dealing with all physical damage from the Twin Blades without using Flaming Strike. The only fire damage will be coming from Flaming Strike if we buff our weapons. For the Physic, you can go with the Strength tier and the Thorny tier, or the Purifying tier and the Thorny tier. I went with the Strength tier. You go with what you feel that you're comfortable with. So what I like to do before I use the shackle, I like to throw 2 freeze pots at Mohg. This will incur frostbite and do percentage damage. Once I hit him with the second freeze pot, I use Mohg's shackle and I attack him until he's before 50% health. Unfortunately, I didn't have a 3rd ritual pot to proc Frost again. Once he's done counting and starts attacking again, I use a shackle and just continue to attack him, and you should be able to finish him off before he starts Niall.
I can see it as clear as day. The coming of our dynasty.
So with Mohg down, that's going to be the last remembrance boss we go after. We took out 14 out of 15. The only one we didn't go after was Rykard. This is the equipment we ended up with. 2 Gargoyles Twin Blades with Flaming Strike, Flame Art Affinity, Claw Mark Seal at plus 25, Omen Smirk Mask, Raptor's Black Feathers, Lionel's Gauntlets and Greaves, Claw Talisman, Ritual Sword Talisman, Millicent's Prosthesis, Rotten Wing Sword Insignia. In the Physic, we had the Flame Shroud and Crack tier, and the Thorny tier. Here's our level 150 stats: 50 Vigor, 16 Mind, 30 Endurance, 49 Strength, 15 Dexterity, 52 Faith. We get 2 Strength from the Mask, and 5 Dexterity from Millicent's Prosthesis. And that concludes our guide for the Gargoyles Twin Blade. I know it's not what everybody expected, but I hope I was able to show you that not just bleed can be overpowered in this game. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. If you have any suggestions or questions, leave them in the comments as well. Please join the Discord. It's a very small community right now, but one that I hope to build little by little. Thanks for everybody's support. Thank you for everybody that's been continuing to watch the videos. After this cutscene, I'm going to leave a little preview of what we have coming up next. Again, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.
The age of the Duskborn.